Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do this morning is go through a book whilst I'm here at Zenith Beach up at Port Stephens, and the book that I've selected to go through on this magnificent morning is entitled 5 Types of People Who Can Ruin Your Life, a book that was published on the 6th of February 2018 and authored by a fellow named Bill Eddy. Bill Eddy is a therapist and legal expert, and he offers insights into identifying and dealing with individuals who exhibit high conflict personality, HCP. These individuals can create chaos, manipulate others, and cause significant emotional or legal turmoil within a family, within a community, or within a corporate environment. Eddy provides practical advice on recognizing their behaviors, protecting oneself, and minimizing damage in personal and professional relationships. So let's have a look at what this book has to offer, see what we can learn, and see what we can incorporate into our skill set. So the first thing that comes from this book is trying to figure out, first and foremost, what is a high conflict personality, a HCP. And a high conflict personality, according to this author, is an individual who habitually blames others, is hypersensitive to criticism, and exhibits extreme emotions and behaviors. They often escalate conflicts instead of resolving them. And there are 5 types of HCP. There are 5 types of high conflict personalities, according to this author. And what we'll do is we'll just try and identify each one of those types to see if that can help us in any way. Just missed that wave. So Eddy identifies 5 main types of high conflict individuals, each exhibiting unique traits. The first one that the author talks about is the narcissistic high conflict personality that demands admiration and entitlement, lacks empathy, and reacts aggressively to perceived slights. We've got others who are known as borderline high conflict personalities who fear abandonment, exhibit intense emotions, and alternate between idealizing and devaluing others, which is really interesting. You know, people who idolize people and at the same time devalue them, quite scary actually. We've got people known as antisocial high conflict personalities who are manipulative, deceitful, and exploitive, often disregarding societal norms and rules. We've got paranoid high conflict personalities, people who are highly distrustful, suspicious, and quick to accuse others of malicious intentions, and the last one is the histrionic high conflict personality, people who are over dramatic, attention seeking and dependent on external valuation. The author goes into talking about why these high conflict personalities can cause harm and cause grief amongst those who they come into contact with. Their behaviour stems from deeply ingrained personality traits, according to this author, often linked to early life experiences or trauma. The bottom line is that they need help. They lack insight into their role in conflicts, leading to repeated patterns of harm. So the author here warns people that spotting high conflict personalities early on is really important. Red flags that you should be looking out for include disproportionate blame on others. Let me repeat that. So the first key red flag to look out for is where people are disproportionate in the blame that they lay on others. They display an inability to accept responsibility and a tendency to turn minor disagreements into major disputes. The author goes on to talk about the blame game, and high conflict personalities rely on scapegoating others to manage their own insecurities and emotions. Recognizing this pattern can help you avoid becoming their target and staying out of reach. Because the author is a solicitor, he also offers advice on protecting yourself legally and emotionally from these types of personalities. When dealing with a high conflict personality, the author here recommends one set clear boundaries, document interactions, and avoid at all costs escalating the conflict. Emotional detachment and seeking professional advice can help mitigate the harm or the potential harm that can come your way. So when we talk about documenting interactions, one thing that one can consider doing is to simply send themselves a message or an SMS or make a note on their iPhone. The author here talks about the importance of not trying to challenge these high conflict personalities. High conflict personalities are unlikely, very unlikely in fact, to change their behaviour through reasoning or confrontation. Focus on managing your own responses and protecting your own well-being is the best advice and the best way of dealing with it. So in summary, this book, The 5 Types of People Who Can Absolutely Ruin Your Life by Bill Eddy, is an essential resource for understanding and navigating relationships with high conflict individuals by learning to recognise their behaviours and implementing workable and productive strategies to protect yourself. You can actually help minimise the damage they could cause and maintain your physical, mental and spiritual well-being of not only yourself but your family, your community, your organisation. So a very, very important lesson and an absolute great book that we've been through this morning. Yassas and bye for now.